What is logosynthesis? In this video, I want to explain to you what logosynthesis is, how I work with it, and why I do it. Hi, I'm Franziska Brandt-Biesler. I'm a trainer and coach for almost 20 years now, and in the recent years, coaching became more important to me. And that is mainly because I got to know logosynthesis. I stumbled over this method 5 years ago when I was looking for a coach myself. I wanted to work on a bigger issue, a family issue, and I wanted to do a constellation because I knew this to be very effective. The coach I finally found worked with a combination of logosynthesis and constellation. It was a huge session, which is unusual. Normally we don't work for 4 hours, but this session was 4 hours and it changed a lot. He made me say weird sentences I didn't know before, but he just told me, don't think about it, just repeat what I say. And I did, and I noticed that things changed immediately. For example, I had an image of a situation in my childhood which was very dark and felt dangerous. And during the sentences that changed. The image first it got lighter, then my feelings changed, I felt relieved, and at the end it was just neutral, and I think the image disappeared completely. And that is what happens with logosynthesis. Of course, I wanted to know what he did with me after the session, so I asked him and he told me about logosynthesis. Now I work with logosynthesis for 5 years. I'm a logosynthesis practitioner meanwhile. For almost 2 years I'm working on my master, and I use logosynthesis in my coaching sessions all the time. It is so effective. You can change, for example, a belief that you had all your life in one session, and then you never have to deal with it again. But what is logosynthesis? Logosynthesis is one of the energy methods, like for example EFT, emotional freedom techniques, which is quite known. Psyche is a method from the USA. Wing wave is one, I think, developed in Germany, and they all work in a similar way. It's not working with your conscious mind because, as you might know, this doesn't work especially in complicating situations. For example, think of a situation where you really overreacted. You got crazy about something very small. And then you might know afterwards that your reaction was not appropriate, and at the same time you're not able to change this, and the next time you will react the same way. And that is because there might be an old story behind this. Logosynthesis works with the energies that are bound in situations like this. Think about such a situation, and then you can imagine that there's energy bound in the situation itself. You think about it over and over again. And then you think about the people that were involved in this situation over and over again. So there's energy bound in these people as well. And then there's energy bound in your reactions and your emotions about this situation, and the anger you felt at this situation. Whenever you think about the situation, you can feel the anger rising again. We work with all this energy. It's possible to retrieve the energy from the situation, to remove it from the people, and to retrieve it from your reactions. And that is exactly what we do with these weird sentences I mentioned before. The first sentence is, I retrieve all my energy bound up in this situation and take it to the right place within myself. The second sentence is, I remove all non-me energy that is bound up in this situation from all of my cells, my bodies and my personal space, and send it back to where it truly belongs. And the third sentence deals with the reactions, with the emotions. I retrieve all my energy that is bound up in all my reactions to this situation and take it back to the right place within myself. This situation is only a placeholder in this case, and that is exactly what we try to find out in the coaching sessions. It might be an image that bothers you. You might think of a specific sentence that was said in this situation. Or the situation leads you to an older story and there's energy bound in this older story and it's reflecting on the new situation. So we would work on this older situation. In easy situations, you can work with logosynthesis yourself. Sometimes it's very clear. It's one sentence a person said in a recent situation, then you can do logosynthesis on this sentence, on the voice of the person, on the face that this person had in this very moment. If you want to work with logosynthesis on your own, I recommend a very good book written by Dr. Laurie Weiss. It's called Letting It Go. You can order it via Amazon. In this book, she explains the method very shortly and very simply, and you can just start and use it. And in many situations, this will be enough. If it's more difficult to find, for example, the trigger, then I recommend to work with a coach like me. This is what I do. I work with logosynthesis all the time on my own, with simple situations. For example, I did one small set of sentences before this video to make sure that I can speak English. I'm still stumbling upon words, but now I don't care anymore. But there are many situations where it's way easier to go to my coach or to a colleague and work with them, because then they can help me to find the real trigger, and I can just let them do the work, the exploring, and I just get the relief. That's much easier. I would be happy if you got in contact with me. Just call me, let's talk on the phone, and then let's make an appointment and just try it out. I can promise you that we can change something, anything, in one session. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon. Have a good time. If it's more difficult to find the trigger, I remain a driver that you'll stumble across